Tell me if this sounds familiar. You say something simple and people misunderstand. You notice something obvious and others call you dramatic. You stay quiet and people assume you're shy, cold, or arrogant. But the reality is, your brain works in a way most people don't fully understand. Today, we're breaking down 5 science-backed signs that shows you're actually too smart for most people to handle, and how these traits can make you misunderstood, misjudged, and sometimes even intimidating, even if you don't intend to be. This video isn't about superiority, it's about self-awareness. So you stop doubting yourself and start understanding how your mind really works. Sign 1. You notice patterns that people don't see. Some people see events, some see mistakes, but you see patterns. According to MIT cognitive science research, highly intelligent minds excel at pattern recognition, which means you connect dots faster than others. You predict outcomes before they happen. You catch inconsistencies in people's words. You see emotional cues and motives beneath the surface. Your brain's default mode network, the part responsible for insight and internal simulations, is more active than average. This makes you naturally good at reading situations and people. Example, you sense when someone's lying without needing proof, not because you're paranoid, but because your brain picks up micro patterns in their tone, facial tension, and contradictions. But here's where it gets tricky. People don't like when they can't hide around you. So they label you as overthinker, too sensitive, negative, suspicious. In reality, you're just seeing more information than most people process. What can you do about it? Instead of saying, "This won't work," try, "Have we considered this scenario?" It makes your insight feel like collaboration, not correction. Don't let your smart brain be a reason to be disliked or isolated. Sign 2. You think deeply, speak less. There's a difference between being quiet and being deeply cognitive. Cambridge studies show that smarter brains activate more in the prefrontal cortex, meaning you run detailed mental simulations before speaking. You're not slow. You're processing layers. That's why you prefer meaningful conversations over small talk. Take a moment before answering questions, replay ideas internally before speaking, and use fewer but more precise words. But to other people, your silence feels intimidating. Your pauses seem awkward. Your depth feels too serious. They speak to fill the silence. You speak to add value. This mismatch makes people think you're distant, uninterested, or even too proud. So, what can you do to make it right? A simple phrase like, "Let me think about that," helps people understand what's happening inside your head instead of making assumptions. Be clear with your words as much as possible. Don't let them guess wrong about your silence. Sign 3. You have high standards. Smarter people have a lower dopamine response to superficial rewards. This means meaningless conversations, mediocre work, and surface-level relationships don't stimulate you. You're driven by depth, growth, competence, precision, and meaning. So you get frustrated when people don't think things through. Conversations stay shallow. Plans are poorly executed. Others do the bare minimum. But this creates a problem. People mistake your standards as judgment. They think you're demanding. They feel insecure around you. They assume you look down on them, when in reality, you're just allergic to half-baked thinking. Solution? Communicate the why behind your standards. People respond better when they understand your intention is quality, not superiority. Sign 4. You have high emotional intelligence. Here's something most people don't realize. Highly intelligent people often have higher emotional intelligence too. Why? Because smarter minds analyze emotions, patterns, and intentions at a deeper level. According to the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence, intelligent individuals sense conflict before it happens, understand motives behind words, notice tension others miss, think before reacting, reflect deeply on experiences, and rarely get manipulated. This makes you grounded, stable, and self-aware, but also intimidating to people who lack emotional maturity. Some people feel seen through. Others feel unsafe because they can't hide behind excuses or emotional games. You don't get fooled easily, and that frustrates those who rely on manipulation as communication. Solution? Set boundaries early. You're not responsible for carrying emotional labor for everyone around you. Sign 5. You get bored easily because your brain craves stimulation. If you get bored quickly, it's not because you're careless, but because you master things fast. This is a sign of high cognitive ability. Neuroscience shows intelligent brains have higher baseline brain activity, meaning they need more challenge, complexity, novelty, growth, and mental stimulation. That's why you outgrow hobbies. You lose interest in repetitive tasks. You crave new ideas constantly. You think fast and move even faster. But to others, it looks like you're inconsistent. You can't stick to anything. You're too restless. They don't understand that boredom is not a flaw. It's your brain asking for a bigger playground. What can you do? Give yourself meaningful long-term projects. Something to grow into, not escape from. If you could relate to 3 or more of these signs, you're not too much, too intense, or too complicated. You're simply wired differently. Your intelligence, intellectual, emotional, or intuitive, makes you see what others don't, think deeper than most people can, and feel more than most people process. Don't shrink yourself. Don't dim your mind to make others comfortable. And don't apologize for thinking deeply in a world obsessed with shortcuts. Because the truth is this, you're not hard to handle. You're just hard to fake around. We are here to make your life simple. If this video spoke to you, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which sign describes you the most.